service delivery deal with load shedding, joblessness, grow the economy, deal with infrastructure development, including roads, infrastructure, and so on. So we seek to accelerate on those particular areas. It's not just touch and go, but is to act where there is necessity to do so. We know that there were a number of vacancies at deputy minister level, and the President have sought to shift.
Sorry, Mr. Mbalua, to disturb you. I'm going to ask my colleague Joko Mane to stay with the President as he's leaving while you continue with telling us what you were telling us. Talk to us about what you are. Or perhaps if you can ask the President to please talk to us.
Mr. President will take questions.
It's finally done. How do you feel? Please, Mr. President, just... Sorry? It's done. Okay. When he says it's done, we try to get the President. Mr. Mbalula, sorry about that. Let's come back to you. You were telling us about the ANC, what you have said in the past and how you hope this will help you moving forward.
Our strategic goal is to ensure that we change the lives of the people for the better. The people of Soweto want to know how we are going to resolve the problem of electricity and electricity billing and the liability there. The people of this country also want to know how we are going to resolve load shedding. So this intervention are about accelerating of that and to ensure that government move with speed and bring a lot of energy into the positions to accelerate the service delivery.
The SACP is the vanguard of the working class on the issue of public service and administration together with COSATU. You can come together, alliance partners. Okay. Let's get your reaction here as the SACP and COSATU on the portfolio of public service and administration. Are you happy with that appointment?
Comrade Ngcobo is an experienced comrade. We are looking forward for her to stabilize the sector, to engage with the unions, and to make sure that we rejuvenate the public sector, the public service, in particular because you know that that section is constitutive of the great success story of our liberation movement. And we rely on it because it's a critical factor of skills. As the section that also created the bourgeois call it the middle strata, but it's the higher level of the working class forces. So we believe that respecting and engaging with them meaningfully will bring much more stability, and I think that she brings a wealth of experience in that space. So we're happy with the appointment, and of course with the rest of rejuvenation of the rest of cabinet. We believe that the newly appointed ministers and deputy ministers will hit the ground running. Indeed, the President re-emphasized the point that we don't want these ministers to be embroiled in corruption. We want them to focus on responding to the necessities, the basic needs of the people, as the SG of the ANC indicated. So this is extremely important for us. We think that it's not a small intervention that was made. Of course, it's not complete overall, but it does shake things. And I think that's important for us, that we need to see things happening, especially in the field of tackling load shedding as one of the most immediate priorities.
Mr. Mapaila, we've just gotten the announcement of the Minister of Electricity. 2024 is around the corner. The SACP is yet to confirm whether it's going to contest the elections, but nevertheless, do you have faith in Dr. Cyril Ramaphosa and the scope of the work that was outlined by the President to immediately deal with this crisis?
Dr. Cyril is an extremely experienced comrade with a great background in executive management, particularly project management, as a special project. Not that he's a minister in his executive authority, but he brings a wealth of experience. Many of you do not know. You know him as a mayor. He used to be a CEO and a turnaround specialist. So we're looking forward to him making strategic interventions to make sure that we end load shedding in this country. So we're quite happy with this appointment. Yeah.
Let's go to you, COSATU, here. There is an important issue that the new Minister of Public Service and Administration will have to be seized with. How is on strike. Let's get your reaction on this cabinet reshuffle announcement.
Well, as my colleague have indicated, we're happy with the entire rebuilding of the cabinet, as the GS of party and the SG of the ANC has said, is not the entire reshuffling. But coming back to your question, we are happy with the new minister, and we think that one of her responsibilities to engage the trade union movement, not necessarily only in the House, not in the House only that has got a dispute. The entire public service workers have a dispute in relation to what has happened with the Resolution 1 of 2018, including the dispute of last year. So we think that she would have that responsibility immediately when she's sworn in. She has the responsibility to engage the trade union to find a solution on that matter, and we're happy with that.
Workers are under siege. Cost of living in South Africa, the energy crisis, unemployment, poverty, inequality, violent crime. Do you still think that this ANC-led alliance is the correct vehicle to end all those socio-economic challenges?
Well, with the debate and the engagement that we started with the new leadership immediately after the ANC 55 National Conference, we met at the Secretarial Alliance meeting. We said one of the critical issues to deal with the challenges, in particular the recovering of the economy. We think that with this the reshuffling that President has announced, including in particular Comrade Sputla, we know him very well in terms of what the work that they've been doing in the infrastructure, and we think that he would be able to resolve those challenges. With the support of the other department, we think that the cost of living, it is not going to be easy, but with the engagement at the level of the alliance, as part of the reconfigured alliance, we'll be able to find that solution.
Mr. Mbalula, if I can bring you in back again. The ANC went to the 55th National Congress saying they need to capacitate the Luthuli House. Organizationally, you advocated for the second Deputy Secretary General, but you have deployed her to government. What was the point?
To strengthen ANC intervention in government. We are a governing party, and we need to extend our tentacles to government and give direction. What we resolve at Luthuli House tend to be undermined in these corridors of power. So our DSG, we did not sacrifice her. We brought her to become the link and to ensure that the voice of Congress, this Congress-led alliance, is right within cabinet. And that is why we've got her there. It's not a mistake. It's a deliberate act on our part.
Did the President explain to you, pardon me, I may have missed, pardon me if that is the case, I did not hear anything about Minister Patricia de Lille. I heard that Mr. Zikalala is responsible for that portfolio. Is the ANC departing from the tradition of having other leaders who are deployed as ministers?
She's still there. She's minister. She's shifted to tourism. Minister de Lille is shifted to tourism. So Zikalala is responsible for the biggest portfolio, which we believe that he's got the capability to run faster and quick in that portfolio. Energy on his side, you can see run marathons. So we want him to run the marathon at Public Works. And Malibongo Kamalama Kweskazi, because the ANC have stayed true to its principles, among others gender parity. We have promoted our women who are capable. Cindy Chikunga, she's been around. In terms of the Department of Transport, after many years, we've given her now the ropes to run the department with yet another capable individual, Lisa Mangu, who's also very much versatile in terms of the Department of Transport. So acceleration all the way. Pakstau together with Nkadime, Benson Namashe, it's another. You can analyze the quality there. It's out there.
You are from the Youth League. I did not hear much or many of leaders of the current ANC Youth League and the task team.
We are focused on taking the Youth League to Congress. The Youth League has been affirmed in this cabinet. Lamula is there. Nchabeni is now occupying the top office of the presidency. The generation of youth, in terms of generational mix, is not taken over. It has been affirmed out of its own deeds. Zikalala is now Minister of Public Works. Zizi Kodwa Ngempandlana is now Minister of Sports, Arts and Recreation. And Mamuluko Kubai is heading housing. Stellan Dabeni is still at small businesses. This cabinet is full of energy. It's full of energy. And These comrades have got to go there and make South Africa proud, and let's work for our people. That's what is important.
Mr. Mbalula, I think it's well recorded, the divisions in your organization. Do you anticipate a fallout from those who did not make it back into the cabinet? Lindiwe Sisulu, Nathi Mthethwa, for an example.
Well, I did talk to all the comrades, and I informed them and conveyed the message this evening from our consultation. And they all welcomed the message. I mean, they all welcomed and thanked the ANC for giving them a chance. ANC members and activists, to serve here, it's a privilege. I was once here and I was removed. Yeah, and then heading a big ministry of police. And even those who are there, they must not relax, because we will be looking at them with the eye of the hawk to ensure that they work for our people and they deliver. And that is what is important. So comrades understand that these things come and go. It's a privilege and honor to serve. And that is why, I mean, they've accepted the decision of the president.
Mr. Mbalula, thank you very
All right,
much for
that's
time.
Fikile Mbalula, the ANC Secretary General, joined by the SACP and COSATU, the alliance partners, reacting then to the cabinet reshuffle of President Cyril Ramaphosa, the adjustments, I should say, not a complete overhaul, but certainly, as I've mentioned, Nathi Mthethwa, Lindiwe Sisulu not returning to the president's cabinet, and a few adjustments then. Mondli Gungubele now becoming the Minister of Communication, swapping with Kumbuzo Nchabeni, who will now be minister in the presidency, and Zizi Godwa as well. Then he's going to be responsible for sports, recreation, arts and culture, I should say. And so there's several changes, as well as deputy ministers, 2 deputy ministers in the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Department, the former KZN Premier, and now getting a promotion, becoming then the Minister of Public Works. Parkstyle, the former Johannesburg Mayor, somebody who was sworn in not too long ago, also going to become a deputy minister, focusing then on cooperative governance, local government, a key issue, especially for someone like Fikile Mbalula, where local government is the coal face of service delivery. Potholes, for an example, are what citizens, bread and butter issues, what citizens are looking forward to having resolved. And so with these changes then, the alliance partners themselves, especially COSATU, speaking about the Public Service and Administration Department vacancy being filled finally, will hopefully then ameliorate then those tensions between the government and workers when it comes to that public sector bill, so the wage bill, I should say. So these are just some of the issues, and plenty of reaction, of course, anticipated now that the president has finally adjusted his cabinet.
Ziyanda Ngcobo, thank you tonight for bringing us that coverage. That's Ziyanda live for us from the Union Buildings. That's where President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced a rehauling, not an overhauling, but at least a reshaping of his cabinet. Didn't take any questions, immediately left and went into his vehicle.